What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wild Country right here on DoD TV. This week, we rejoin Mark and Taylor in Utah at Wild Country Adventures. The two have had an eventful first few days, to say the least. Which pair of future in-laws will strike first on a giant mule deer? Find out this and much more on this magical Mule Deer Mania edition of Wild Country on DoD TV. This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Loaf. Be relentless.
Welcome back to another episode of Wild Country right here on DeerCast and DoD TV. We're becoming creatures of habit. We love that high knob that we can glass the basin for meatloaf. So back we go.
What a beautiful morning, 37 degrees. We've got a setting moon and a rising sun. And a gorgeous morning. We're gonna go look for that giant that we saw yesterday evening. See if we can't put eyes on him this morning. We're hoping with this weather, DeerCast says great. And we're hoping to see some deer out. It's nice and calm, high pressure 30.3. Add that to the elevation, my head feels like it's about to explode. Let's go see if we can have some fun.
It's day 2 and we're headed out. Dad is after a big deer that they found last night in the evening hunt. And I believe that Wade, Tom, and I are going to a new spot this morning. But yesterday was awesome. We had that amazing stalk. So hopefully today we can find one of our target bucks and put a good stalk on him. But day 2, here we go.
So the next morning, me and Mark, we get back to our favorite little glassing spot, and guess who's there? It's Meatloaf again.
For some random reason, I just decided to give my eyes a break from this country and looked up high and shining like a beacon in the sun way up on the top of the ridge. But that's one thing about it is these high country deer, they have all these trees to travel through. And so you gotta be ready at any time for them to pop out in any one of these openings. Literally, you have maybe 60 seconds sometimes that they'll slip up and they'll come out in an opening that you can catch them. But it definitely pays off if you can sit your butt more than 10 minutes because you miss a lot of stuff if you're moving around.
The sun's shining on him. He looks beautiful standing out in the sagebrush. And we're just waiting patiently for him to mess up and bed in a great spot that we can stalk him.
Austin has spotted this monster and we just got some great footage of him through the phone scope. What distance is that, Austin?
Oh, he's probably 1,500,
yeah,
right around a mile.
He's right at a mile. So it shows you how cool that little apparatus is. But he's in a tough spot, so we're gonna watch him, see what he does. If he beds right there, we might make a play. If not, then we wait till this evening perhaps, but at least we found him again. So we're not out of the game, but we're not overly in the game just yet.
Unfortunately, he gets in the trees, and these mountain bucks are tough once they get in the trees. But we know he's there. That's his home range. His water's there, his food's there, his bedding's there. We just gotta be patient.
It's been a little bit of a slow morning so far, but Dad and Austin saw their target buck, and they saw him go into the trees, so they're gonna go back after him tonight. This should be fun. We'll see.
Every trough is full of cows right now, and we're just setting up the blind on the trough that's just outside that pasture. So hopefully all the bucks that were using these troughs are now going to use our trough. But the camera, the Reconyx was out and it shows some really good mature bucks.
See the water tank right there? See our blind right there? They're gonna come from out there to that water right there. The shot is about 20 or 25 yards and the wind is blowing into the camera.
That evening, the whole group comes out. Taylor, Wade, Dad, Mark, and myself. We get to one of our favorite glassing spots for Meatloaf again. Nothing. Finally, Mad, Taylor, and Dad decide they're gonna go look elsewhere just to see if they can find any other bucks to stalk the next morning.
Here we are this afternoon. We decided to team up, have some fun together. We looked at the card at the water hole. It was all does last night, so we're gonna let it warm up, maybe hit it later in the week.
We're actually gonna try to get after the buck that you and Austin saw this morning. They got really good phone scope footage of it. With my penetration and my poundage, I'm probably gonna try to stay within 35 yards. So say we get on a stalk and the buck's beyond that, he'll shoot. If he comes in really close, then I'll shoot, so.
The moment he gets to 50, I'm gonna go, meh.
That will.
It's Wednesday. We still don't have a buck. We haven't flung an arrow. I'm getting nervous.
We're starting in on day 3. We went in last night together after that big buck we've been seeing, and Austin stayed there till dark. The deer eventually did come out, but he was about, I don't know, a half mile away, and he came out late. But it let us know he's still in the area. So we're going to go in this morning. We're going to take a different route. We have a spotter across the valley from us, Kenny, and we're going to be over there where he was last night and yesterday morning. That way, if he does give us his brief glimpse like he's been doing, we can make a play on him.
So after spotting Meatloaf late last night, we knew he was still there. We knew he was in the area. So me and Mark, we head back into the same spot.
So we're back after that big typical me and Mark have been on the last couple days. We've seen him every time we've come out, but he's only given us a little bit of time before he gets into the big timber. So today we got an extra spotter, and he's gonna watch from the side that me and Mark have been locating the buck from, and now we're on the ridge where the buck's living. So hopefully he can get eyes on him, get us into position, and we can beat the buck to the trees, or he beds out in the open. It's totally legal to run radios and everything to help have a spotter on one side, talk the hunter in. So
That ability to communicate and help in these mountains is, you really can't state how important that is in terms of getting you in the right position.
We encountered some really nice bucks, and we actually had Kenny back spotting for us, so we had high hopes. But once he didn't show, now the stress is ramping up.
It's early. We're actually driving to the spot we want to get to. And he was just right off the road, and then he crossed the road and went over to that water trough. But so pretty. He literally just probably shed his velvet last night. It's just hanging down. Really pretty.
well, we're sitting here looking towards our buck, and I look in the rearview mirror and there's deer standing behind us. One looked like a decent buck, mature and 3-point with a little kicker out as one side, but never know, we could get us a buck up here while we're waiting for our other buck to come out.
Sorry, Kenny, we didn't need you. Okay, so we're driving down this fence line, and on the way, literally right here within 20-30 yards stands a shooter, some other small bucks and some does, but that was a really cool encounter right there.
Yeah, very cool. We've watched that buck for 2 years now, and it seems like every September-ish he disappears, and now we know why. He's a tree lover.
He's a tree hugger. Good encounter though. That was pretty awesome.
Well, we actually found one of our target bucks this morning, so we've been on him, we've been watching him through the glass. Tom thinks he's in a pretty good spot. We're gonna go around there and try to come down and work our way down. We don't have a lot of wind, so we're hoping the wind picks up, but he is in a good spot to put a stalk on him, so we will see. He is a beautiful deer. We've been watching him through the phone scope this morning.
Those 3 fields you see that I just filmed are where we saw that buck yesterday, where we got the great phone scope footage. Austin just caught a glimpse of him again up there. He's trying to find him. If he does, we're gonna maybe have a play on him, but maybe not if he goes into the trees. It's a chess match. We also just got word that they have spotted a shooter, and Tom, Taylor, and Wade are heading in, so good luck, Tay.
Well, we just made it over to the backside that I'd pointed at in my last interview, so we're gonna work our way down the aspens and see how close we can get, but Tom thinks he's bedded in a really good area behind a bush. We're just hoping the wind picks up a little bit, so we're going in. I'm hoping that Dad and Austin are on him. We don't have cell service, so hopefully they're on a big buck, because the one they were after yesterday is a giant. Here we go.
up looking for the big typical, and Taylor and Dad were texting us pictures of a buck they had found, and we were out of service a little bit, changing country, and we all just got the text saying, he's bedded, leaving truck now, channel 11. So Mark and I are cruising over to where Taylor and Dad's spotter is, and hopefully we can watch her get in on this buck.
To glass during the day once they're bedded, and this is exactly why.
We're always looking underneath these sarvisberry bushes because that's where they like to bed. You can see they've dug this down over the years, 2 feet below the surface, just disappear.
And it's hard to see what's in the cracks when you're glassing from far. They're shading themselves from the sun, so they're the smart ones.
All right, let's go fry.
We had a really awesome stalk earlier. Unfortunately, the smaller little buck busted us when we were within 100 yards. So now we are onto a different deer. We've been glassing most of the afternoon, and Austin and Dad are glassing way over there. We came over here because we have our eyes on a buck they call Red. He is bedded. He's under a sarvisberry bush, so we're gonna see if we can close in on him, but he's bedded alone, so maybe we can get closer this time, or within bow range at least.
Well, Dad, Wade, and Taylor are about 50 or 60 yards from this buck right now. He just got up and repositioned to a better spot. He's facing directly away from him now. So that's just, move slow, move quiet, and hopefully when they get there, he can either get up and give him a shot, or maybe they'll be able to shoot him as he stands up, but they're close.
based on where we've seen him the last 2 nights, we're going to go through all these trees at the risk of bumping everything in the country out. In the whitetail woods, I would never go through all this cover to get to where I was going. But
we have a reasonable amount of confidence he's not in here and he's in the next draw over, so we're hoping. If we don't see him, we'll know what happened.
For me, I'm not a big sitter. I'm kind of impatient when it comes to mule deer. That's what I like about them though. I can go after them opposed to waiting for them. The one thing I'm nervous about is we're in the mountains. The wind's swirling, your thermals change. You just never know which way your wind's gonna be blowing.
He's right at the base of that tree. Stand up and you'll see his antlers. I got him. Okay, is he still walking up our way now? Last I saw him, he was northbound. Yeah, he's coming just right underneath us. Yep, he's kind of coming down through these. He's just feeding kind of down through these aspects. That's 56. I can't see his bottom. I have no shot, obviously. We better play it safe. Yeah. It just wasn't an ethical shot, in my opinion, so we chose to hold, thinking he'd come through this opening where we can get a shot to those vitals. Anyway, that big deer just bounded off, but that doe caught us and then he took off. That was pretty awesome. That was awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, from back there, we had him at range 2, probably when you see the best footage of his rack. We're at 55 yards, but all you could see was his rack because of this thick cover and the roll of the hills. That's why he's as big as he is.
That's exactly right.
Even though we've had great encounters, we've been chasing our target buck, we've been seeing other really pretty mature deer, it just hasn't been able to happen. And now we're getting to the Thursday time frame and I'm really getting stressed out. But I have high hopes. Between me and Mark, we can make these last couple days count. Thank you for watching this episode of Wild Country.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This segment of DoD TV was brought to you by Ram Trucks. Guts Glory Ram.